boop, 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 doo, 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 doo. Haha, there we go. Alright. Alright. Yep, yep, yep. Up one more level. There we go. That's the... Well, that was the picture, except it... Yeah. Go and log on to Sims and try to find my house, and this is the picture you get. Thanks a lot, guys. Hello, strangers. This is Fred Strange, Strange Worlds Unlimited. We are not done with Hinata House. We're playing Sims 4, and I finally found some of the books. So, love Hina. This is volume 2. Volume 2. And in it, right in the back, here, are designs. Layout of the whole thing here. So basically, you know, it just kind of reminds me of just how massive this thing is. You know, you look at, you know, some of the people that have come onto my Twitch chat in earlier episodes of this, you know, commented about, you know, how huge of a complex this is. This is only a 50 by 50 lot. Okay? The biggest lot that the Snowy Escape pack has. You know, this is one of 2 50 by 50 lots that the Snowy Escape pack has, and it's the only one. The other lot is up in the mountains and therefore in perpetual snow. And so we're not going to do that because I don't want to play this in perpetual snow. You know, winter is fine, and you know, snow is okay, but it's, you know, it's not necessarily the building itself is located just outside, you know, kind of a fictional area outside of Tokyo. You know, probably I would, if I had to hazard a guess, and even then, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say probably northeast of Tokyo. There's some territory out that direction that is sparsely populated by comparison to just about everything else around Tokyo. But I mean, it's in, you know, I figure the way that the storyline goes, they're probably about an hour or so out. By, you know, by train, you know, you walk down, you know, this hill, and then, like I said, it's a pretty substantial hill. So let me see if I can put this up here for you guys. Yeah, unfortunately, most of it's in Japanese, but you can see how, you know, that's ground level down there. So that's a long stairway going up, and you know, you can see where the annex is, which is right there. See, I did this wrong. That's supposed to be, and there's supposed to be another floor underneath this. there's a garage underneath here. So basically, I need to, in order, if I were to do this a little bit more accurately to this, I would have to raise this entire thing up another floor. And put a garage underneath here. You know, there's another floor underneath. There's a basement underneath this, where it looks like, you know, you can basically hold a, you know, there's a garage where you can park a car, you know, and there's more stuff off this direction. I need a 64 by 64 lot in order to do this properly, and even then I don't think I can do it properly. You know, this is a massive, you know, house. You know, ground level's way down there. You got this long stairway just to get to the main house. Right? Which is right there. Basically, what we're looking at in that big screen right there is just this little bit that's covering my finger. There's the annex. There's the main house. There's Makoto's little dojo way over here. Whoop. Here's that building way in the back, and then this is the hot springs way back here. Let me just see if I can put it in the camera here. That's the hot springs back there. Okay. And the hot springs fall into a river. There's another house back there. Yeah. There's ponds and things all over the place, bridges and stuff, which, yeah, I did a test run. I can't even actually do bridges over pools. I was gonna make a house. I've seen these like these great houses that have like pools or like, if I go to a water park, you know, we've got a few out here in California. We've got Raging Waters. We've got a Six Flags, which is called Magic Mountain, and there's a Hurricane Harbor, I think is the name of it, right next door. It's actually a separate entrance fee, so you can, you know, you go there. It's the same place, it's the same parking lot, but you pay to either go into Six Flags, into Magic Mountain, and ride the rides there. But if you want to go over to the water park, you have to pay a separate entrance fee to go there and go through all that. And in there, you know, they've got this kind of lazy river type thing. And I've seen these lazy river type things actually built into kind of log cabinish houses. And so I wanted to see if I could recreate that, you know, using this. And I can't bridge over. None of the platforms, none of the nothing. I can't bridge over. And that's something you used to be able to do in The Sims 2. I'm still eating my breakfast here too, so I'm going to I want to see. I saw a few other pictures of rooms in here. I finally found my books, and there's some more pictures in here. That was volume 2. Let's see. There's 14 volumes altogether, and you know, spoiler alert. But yeah, here we go. So let me see if I can put. That's Naru's room right there. And what you notice there is, yeah, there's the Kotatsu there, the hole in the floor. But you notice how the room is slightly divided. It's split in two. Well, I don't know how the hell that happens, because there's Naru's room here. And I did not make this long enough to be split into two. You know, it's basically saying that there should be wall dividers. Well, and at that, you know, that hole's way over here. Basically, this room would take up that entire space here, which I don't know how that happened and have this bridge. So I mean, there's some inconsistencies with how he designed this building. This was volume 11, by the way. Volume 11 is where that picture came from. Let's see. At least I think. Oh no, that was 14. That was in 14. There's Kitaro's room. Yeah, let me see if I can get it into the camera here. There's Kitaro's room, which is down here. And again, you know, it's you got kind of a desk type thing. You got, you know, the TVs and stuff. But you notice it's the split. It's the split room. This would take up this entire space. Basically, these rooms need to be twice the length of what I've got them as, which means this entire complex. You know, if this room is if Kitaro's room is that big, stands to reason the other rooms are a similar size, which would make, you know, all of these rooms that size, which would make this entire thing that much longer. You know, that would make that stretch. You know, this wall would be way back here. So, you know, I can't do that. So what I can do, however, is, you know, I can use this more as a reference and say, okay, well, you know, maybe we can help it, you know, use this to kind of decorate this a little bit better, you know. You know, Naru's got a kotatsu. You know, we see, you know, there's tables. So what I've got here, so I don't know how I'm going to do this. So that's more or less a closet there. So I don't know how I'm going to do, you know. Got the music in my ear. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but it's in my ear and it's kind of distracting. So I'm going to take that out. I don't need that. So I'm going to be looking at you know, the books here and see if I can determine. Let's actually go down a level and see how well I've got. Okay. So we've got see, now there we go. That I'm gonna put over here because this wall needs to come this way. And, you know, again, Ken never made. Ken never showed. Ken only showed this area right here. He never showed what was behind that wall. He never showed what was behind this wall, to my knowledge. And so, I don't know what's in this room. I don't know what's in this room. You know, so it's all pure speculation on my part as to, you know, I don't know if there's. I mean, this looks like this would be a perfect place to put a door right here. You know, kind of a side entrance. I don't know if there's one actually there. We never see it. You know, this goes and due to the nature of the fact that this is actually downhill even further than there's, you know, this part right here. There's another floor underneath it. Kind of where a garage would be. There's a driveway that comes up this direction and kind of leads into what I guess would be a garage, or at least a partial garage. You could fit a car in here. And then there's this stairway that comes from here up and eventually runs up to, you know, this ground level here. But obviously that's down, that's further down, and then there's another stairway that comes up and gets into about this area here is another landing, and then this is kind of a flat area that would actually extend out, you know, about this far. This goes straight down, and there's steps all the way down that hill, right? So, but he never showed us what was in these rooms. He never showed us what was in these rooms. You know, there's very obviously a counter here, and you know, another thing that The Sims 4 no longer has is the old telephones, corded, plug into a wall telephone. So I can't even use that as a prop here, you know. So, alright. So what we're going to do is, there is, I don't see that. This needs to turn that way. Maybe get, and yeah, see, I mean, that's almost dead center there. So I mean, this whole thing is even wider than, and this is here. I'm gonna bring that over a little bit more. So something like that. Alright. Stop that. Okay. So I think I'll leave that like so. Now there is a potted plant over here. Indoor plants. That'll be fine. There's a tree of some kind. So let's see if I can find a similar tree. That's close, but not quite. I need something like this, but a little bit more sparse. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah. Something like that. Oh, I can put that there. I can't. Alright, well, I'll just get rid of it. And then when I should have is on the floor here. Is that. Something like that. Although this should be more flush with the so something like this. Move that in that corner there. There we go. So something like that. And a couch and a yes, and I suspect that these two items should actually be the same thing, but you know, we're just gonna go with. I mean, they should be the same thing because they got to hold 6 people on them, and they do. You know, and there's times when you can actually see people standing behind these things. It's like. But the picture says there's no room. Where's the, you know, how is this possible? You know, does this, you know, does this wall extend out, but then this area's back further? I suppose that's possible. Can't quite tell. And yeah, and see the big thing that they missed when doing this pack. You're gonna make a Japanese house, a particularly traditional Japanese house. They don't really have beds. They've got futon mattresses. They're roll-out mattresses. They sleep on the floor. You know, they don't have beds like you know. And in this, you know, in this series, you know, particularly, they use futon mattresses. None of them have. I don't think any of them have beds. Shinobu might have a bed, you know. But none of the rest, they have futon mattresses. You basically roll about, and they're like at the very least they're like queen size or larger mattresses, so they're pretty large. You know. Or, you know, I'm assuming, you know, they maybe might full size. You know, if you were to think of, you know, American, you know, the kind of mattresses that you put on a bed, you know, this is a twin. You know, that's a twin, and that's at least queen size, if not king size, right? So basically, if you could just take the mattress off of this, you know, not the bed itself, just the mattress, and kind of put it on the floor. And then they roll it up and store it, you know, put it in a corner or put it in a closet at night. And then they bring out their, you know, Katatsu tables to kind of, you know, do that. Take this, put that off in a corner, take their mattresses out, you know, and roll it across the floor there, and then they sleep during the night. And so there are only a few, you know, they don't actually have beds. So let's see here. Now what can we do? Kitaro's room is not this, but and the desk is wrong. And it almost looks like this is actually extending that way, you know, instead of, it's not extending actually this direction, it's extending that direction or something, I don't know. Or this is the front, and then, you know, I'm trying to look at the room here. Whoop, there it is. I'm trying to look at the room here, you know, is what we're looking from. Let me see if I can, you know, that vantage point there. You know. Or we're looking at the room from here. Because like I said, that would extend, that little partition there would extend into this room back here. So this is basically, I've got, what I have is 2 rooms, is basically one big room, you know, slightly partitioned off. But then what that means is that this room back here, the second room back here, starts at that wall and goes back just this, you know, that same distance, that far. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got, it's an 8 by, what is this? 8 by 8 room, 8 by 6 room, 8 by 7 room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 by 6 room. So I've got an 8 by 6 room. So that's basically 2 8 by 6 rooms, or something close to that, right? I could probably, you know, it'd probably be, you know, a 7 by 6. A 7 by 6 room, but 2 of those, because it's you know, so it's basically, it's 14 long, you know, 14 to 16 long, 6 wide, and then there's another 14 to 16 long back here. That would extend that all the way, and all of these rooms would be that way. This room, that room, everything would just, you know, we just end up shoving everything twice as long as what it is. So I don't think I can do that. So, and the problem is that, you know, again, I want to address this hole in the floor, which you can see, whoops, in the picture of Naru's room. Naru's room. Okay. Okay, way off in the distance there. Let me see if I can put my finger. Way off in the distance there, she's got, you can see a little, that's tatami mats, and there's a little stuffed animal sitting on a thing. That's where the hole's located. The hole between her room and Kitaro's room. So if we again assume that we're looking at her room, although it's, you know, you can almost see the doors in the back. So I kind of wonder, you know, if we're seeing, you know, if we're not looking at it from this direction, so the hole would be up near the front. And see the whoops, the katatsu right there in the foreground. It's this thing. You would put that away and roll out of bed in its place. And this thing is meant to come apart. You know, it's basically it's a table with a blanket over it, and the table would have a heater underneath it, usually like an electric heater or something like that. And so you'd have a table. You put the blanket over it, you put another table on top of it, and then you have cushions around it. You just basically pillows. You just sit on a pillow, put your feet underneath there, keep them warm, and do all your, you know, your work eat, homework, whatever, whatever you normally do at a table here. And but then this thing, like I said, it's meant to, so you can put the pillows away, store them somewhere, take the tables and prop them again, put the blanket away, and then roll out a bed, into this space. That's how that's supposed to go. So we're gonna look at this. I'm gonna look at this and see if I can see if I can figure out. See if I can make this as close to accurate as I can get it. And the problem is again, that kind of messes up. And these chairs. So this is back to Kitaro's room. These chairs, it's a short table, and the chairs are flat against these. There's no legs on these chairs. That's flat against the ground. These are molded, L-shaped, plastic. It might be metal, some kind. I don't think it would take a lot to shape wood into that kind of an L thing. So I would guess it's probably modern age, probably plastic. But it's basically it's like, how do you sit at a thing like that? Somebody in Japan tell me, how do you sit at a thing like that? So we don't even have. I don't think we have anything that would even come close to resembling chairs like that. These are all. I mean, we have molded. You certainly have like molded plastic. Leather chairs. And it would be like this without the legs. It'd just be this part. Poolside dining chair. So I don't think we have anything even resembling that. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I should, get another Katatsu here. Maybe. Because I think he has one too. And we can put it there, but it won't fit there. It'll fit here. That's a little closer to what we have. Let's get rid of this couch here. Can I put you here? I can. The problem is that precludes. That removes any chance of that hole kind of needs to be there. I wonder if we can move this over. How far over we can move it? I'm going to move that over there. Not doing too much damage. Yeah, I'm going to move that there. Okay, and then this I can move into this space here. Nope. So that'll have to work as the, I mean, there is no there is no short table like that. This is the closest approximation I can get to that. They don't have that in. So let's see. What else is? All right, that's Naru's room, and I gotta. She's got an easel in here. I don't know why. They never show her paint. Okay. And so there's that, and then there's like a short shelf here. There's almost a, you know, I mean, it's inbuilt into the wall. It's like this wall is. I wonder if that's even possible. Can we do that? Can we build a wall? No, we can't. It's like a half wall. You notice how I'm bouncing back and forth between this? It's like you want to build, you know, it's like if I were to build a wall right here, but no, I don't want to build a wall right here. Do you see where that dotted line is? That's where I want to build the wall. You know, basically, there's another wall between, you know, those 2 points. It's that wide. It's only halfway through. Build a wall halfway through there, and then build all of these shelves and things into it. So surfaces, I kind of want storage kind of things here. And I've got to be able to put like a television. See, I don't want that because that's actually a bed right there, right? I mean that, but that's almost the idea, right? It's a tiny house kind of idea. This would go here. You know, you move the kotatsu and you roll out your bed. So I mean, we could. I wonder if that's an idea. I wonder if we should do that. I mean, it's not exactly accurate. But it's about as accurate as we can get. You know, the tiny living module kind of helps in that regard. That, you know, you can roll out a Murphy bed, and that'd almost be the same thing. It'd be the next best thing to what the traditional Japanese roll out a futon and then, you know, roll it out and then roll it back up. You know, everything there is about saving space. You know, it's you know, as time has gone on in that country, it's everything, you know, about saving space. And so, you know, it's not just tradition anymore. As, you know, you've got more and more and more people packed into a very tiny area. And I mean, it's the islands themselves are huge, but I mean, if you've ever you know, look at a map. If you've never been to Japan, you know, take a look at a map. Take a look at a topographical map. You know, it's a large island chain. The islands themselves are pretty large, and then they stretch. Basically, the you know, Japan basically stretches almost the entirety. If you were to do a comparison, and the more accurate comparison would be the east coast of the United States. So the northern end, you know, Hokkaido. Am I saying that right? Is that the right? Is that the right island? The most northern island, um, is up where, say, Maine, and maybe even like Nova Scotia, you know, Canada, way up there. Okay, and it stretches from way up there, way down the coastline to the southern parts of the most southern points in Japan are in like southern Florida. It is that long. It is that massive length of land there. And you know, yeah, I mean, there's it's you know, it's one big island right up the top, like, you know, Maine, Nova Scotia area, you know, Quebec area, you know, that area, you know, that's an island. The big main island stretches from probably, you know, just south of that, you know, Massachusetts, all the way down to at least Georgia, or, you know, northern Florida. There's a few smaller islands, and there's a few off the coast. There's a few smaller islands, you know, further south, and then of course that stretches down even further down into, you know, when you get to, you know, Okinawa. You know, now you're talking almost the Yucatan Peninsula in terms of, you know, how far down that goes. Okay, it's a big stretch of land, um, but it's almost entirely mountains. So there's very little land to you know, flat land to live on. You have to build up sides of mountains and stuff like that. And so everything is super efficient in terms of, and like I said, you've packed a lot of people into those small little places of land. And it is particularly when you put people in, and most of them live near the cities. Really, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of farmland per se. You know, there's not a whole lot of places to farm. It's all up large mountains, tall mountains, you know, steep mountains. So, you know, you have to do a lot of terrace farming in order to even think about farming on those hills. And something I don't something I've never really seen pictures of them doing. I've seen other places do terrace farming, but I've not seen Japan do it. Um, so there's very little in terms of flat land to farm on, and that takes up lot of space. So basically, the majority of the population lives in and around cities, and they're tightly packed into small sections of land. So everything is about tiny. So I mean, the tiny living thing is almost perfect for this. So I'm just wondering if that might not be a bad idea. Okay. So let's do that. Let's get rid of all of these beds. And my thing froze up on me. Keeps freezing up on me. Let's get rid of all of these beds and replace them all with these Murphy beds. And then there's another thing I've got to do. This area, these windows, I've got to redo these windows, because this is actually open air, a lot of them. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. Basically, these windows aren't really even windows. They're like, you know, some of them are windows, but some of these are missing. You know, they're like that. And then what you'd have, you know, or something like that, right? And then what these windows here then would be, and that's missing, and that's missing. And then what you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? That side's shorter than the other side. Really? Let's see, I goofed this up. These should be equal. These should be equal distance apart. How did I mess that up? There's 6 by 6. They're 8 by 6. How did that get messed up? Am I not counting this right? That's 4. And that's 9. How's that 4 and that's 9? Oh, because this isn't. Okay, I'm off center. I'm off center. Yep. Okay. But yeah. So, but like these open areas here, we'll just do that. But these windows are more, you know, fences. So, yeah. Great, huh? Okay. So let's go. Oh, comfort. Beds. Alright, let's see what kind of. Where's our Murphy beds? Alright. And see. Aren't you? There we go. It'd be better if that was green. We could put hers right here. Something like that, right? How are we doing on time? Okay. Of course, this just runs the possibility that I kill off one of my characters, right? Okay. Let's move that. Whoops, maybe I can't. Alright, I'll move. Yeah, okay, we'll put that there. And oops, wrong direction. Okay. One, two, and then give her a bigger one. I don't really know what's in her room. So yeah, you know, we'll just have these Murphy, but you know, I mean that's really, in a sense, that's kind of what these things are. All right. So anyway, I went into I spent most of this hour going into really long-winded discussions about, you know, Murphy beds or you know, Japanese culture and whatever, which I, I mean, I know some things, but I don't know everything, So anybody, obviously, if I'm saying anything, just and as far as I can tell, nobody's watching this on Twitch. So if anybody happens to watch this on YouTube, and I'm saying, and you happen to live in Japan, and I'm saying something completely out of my, I'm coming from an American perspective. I only know, a lot, I know mainly what comes out of these things, which, there's a lot of good information that comes out of, these kind of stories. But I watch a lot of things, and I'm a history person, so I've studied up on Japanese history and everything like that. But I don't know everything. I know probably 1/10 of 1% of what I really should know about Japanese history and culture and everything like that. So if I'm saying something completely out of my thing, go ahead and leave a comment. Be nice, but leave a comment down below and say, "Oh no, that's not the way things go. They go this way." Okay, fair enough. I will take whatever criticism in that regard. But and then again, if I am saying something that's completely accurate, then feel free to. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this here. Okay. So we're gonna take a break here. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I hope this was at least well, again, hopefully when I'm not talking completely out of my where, and and in that regard it can be educational. So hopefully this was educational and informative and whatever, and we're gonna do some more renovations and things here, and we'll be back in the next episode to do more. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and like, comment again if if you know more than I do, which is very possible. Leave a comment down below and correct me on whatever I need to be corrected on, if anything. Or at least confirm, maybe, hey, I get this, I'm surprisingly accurate. Oh yes, it's exactly that way. So hey, that just reinforces. Just be nice, and check out the links below. There's a Patreon thing that'll help. Please become a patron. That'll help support the channel, and get me the things that I need in order to make this channel even better. Maybe I can visit Japan and actually learn something. But in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. Stay strange.